G'day everyone, this is DBK Welding Caps. Today we are going to cut the fabric for our welding cap. And we're going to do this using the pattern that we created in the previous tutorial. So today we're going to need two fabrics. I'm using a solid white fabric and a super cute Care Bear fabric, which I can't wait to wear this. This is going to be gorgeous. I have a pair of scissors and a rotary cutter. I have a HB pencil as my fabric marker. You can use whatever fabric marker you prefer. You'll need some pins and of course the paper pattern that we made. So let's get started. I'm going to clear this away. Before we get into cutting, I want to talk about the fabric. Fabric, when you first purchase it, it has chemicals in it from when they made the fabric and they got the colour into the weave. And that makes it fairly stiff, but it also stretches the fabric out just a little bit. So what I like to do is wash my fabric and dry it so that it helps the fabric shrink back to its more original, I guess, position. The weave is just a little bit tighter with all the chemicals gone. And then I iron it and I just press it, you know, and then I cut it. And all to do that, to prepare my fabric, all I do is I fold it into quarters. I get my big roller and I place it up somewhere here, and I just cut a nice straight edge, and I do that at the top and at the bottom. You don't have to do this. I do it because I just find it easier to work with when I'm cutting through 4 layers of fabric. And that's the other thing. If you don't want to cut through 4 layers of fabric, then you can cut your print fabric first and then you can cut your plain fabric, however you want to do it. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's get to the cutting. So I'm going to lay my white fabric down first, then I'm going to put my print fabric on top, matching all of the raw edges where I can. So top and bottom, make sure they're lined up perfectly. I'm going to make sure my fold is matched up, both of them, matched up as best I can. There we go, that looks not straight. There we go, perfect match. Okay, so now I'm ready to lay my pattern pieces down so I can start cutting. So with our pattern pieces, I decided I was going to go with the standard size peak of only 3 inches, and I'm going to use the 9.5 inches long or wide because it's winter and my ears get cold. So these are the 4 pattern pieces that I decided to go with today. Now, because I need 4 of the smaller, more narrow panels, I went ahead and printed out another page and just cut it out as well. You'll see why in a moment. So what we're going to do is put our pattern pieces down. This is a width of fabric 9 inches, which is a 1/4 yard of fabric. So I'm going to put my center panel there. I'm going to place a side panel here. And I'm going to try and conserve as much fabric as I can, because whatever's left over I can use that as a scrap project later. My second small panel I'm going to place here. My visor, put that there. Now because I know this edge here is straight, I'm going to save myself some cutting time and I'm pushing my pieces right up to the edge of that fabric. And the same with my band piece. I have my center fold marking here. I'm going to place that on the fold of the fabric over here. And because I know that this bottom edge is straight, I'm going to put it right up on the edge of that fabric. There we go. Look at that, that's perfect. I don't care if one of my sets of Care Bears is upside down. I've conserved all of this for a scrap project later, or I can make another visor out of that if I want. Okay, so there we go, that looks pretty good, I like that. So now I'm going to pin everything down. Now I'm a fairly confident sewer, so a single pin holds everything for me. But if you want to, you can put a lot more pins in if you want. It will shift, so just be careful not to push it off the fabric. There we go. The band. Pin that down. One more over here. There we go. And I usually put 2 on the visor because it's such a large piece. Like so. There we go. So all my pieces are pinned down through all 4 layers of my fabric. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my fabric marker and I'm going to just go around the edges. Now, there's 2 ways you can do this. If you're going to use a pair of scissors, trace your fabric, trace your pattern. Just draw all the way around it and do that for every piece. But if you're like me and you use a rotary cutter, you don't need to trace. Just grab your rotary and start cutting. Okay? So, if I flip this over through the magic of video, that's what it looks like when you trace it with a piece of paper. Correction, when you trace it with a fabric marker or a pencil. There's my center panel. There's one of my side panels. The other one of the side panel. My visor is this way. And then my band. So at this point I'd use my scissors and cut it. Easy done. But once again, through the magic of a video, I have already done that. Okay. Actually, let me move this out of the way. So once you finish cutting, this is what you're going to have. So you're going to have 2 print panels, which you can see here, and 4 print side panels. Same again in white. 2 center panels and 4 in the white. With the visors, when you cut it, because the fabric is folded over into 2, you're going to get 2 white and 2 print. You only need 1 of each to make a cap. So I'm going to put this aside and use that another day. So I've got my visor print and my visor solid. And here is my band. There's 1 solid white band and 1 print band. And because I put the pattern up against the fold, it's 1 very long piece. So I don't have to have another sewn stitch here to press against my forehead when I'm using my cap. And I really like that. So this is what I need to actually go to the sewing machine, start making my welding cap, which will be the next video. Thanks for watching.